Yeah, possibly.
Most of our fans are like shop workers and bus conductors and that, and all really dotty old fellas. So.
So, I want to ask you kind of about politics, but I don't really know what to ask you about politics because I don't think you've ever actually.
Well, have you ever done an interview before?
Sorry?
You've done interviews before?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, right.
I mean,
Was the last person you did?
Eddie Reader, Scottish girl,
Is she?
red-headed, fairground attraction. She's now a solo artist.
Yeah.
No? Okay. I interviewed Terry Hall once and he freaked the life out of me. You know.
He's a bit sinister, isn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. He just didn't really say very much. But I don't think you... Have you kind of ever aligned yourself to anything political, like a movement or anything? Or you've always seemed to stood on your own, saying your own thing about your own background. You haven't kind of done a thing like the Paul Weller Red Wedge or Billy Floyd?
No.
Why? How come? You're just happy to say what you think and that's it?
No, I mean, I used to work on the docks, you know, when I was like 15, 16, and I became rapidly disillusioned with the Labour Party, you know, very quickly.
So do you have any stands politically? Or?
Not particularly, no. Well, do you?
No? I just kind of thought that with the things you write about,
Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying, sorry.
I'm trying to just kind of get where you stand, and I kind of realised that you are more of an independent.
Well, when I started the group, I was extremely communist, you know, extremely, I mean, I was, you know, to the point where, you know, you think Paul Weller's like a fascist, you know, I mean, that's the way I was brought up, you know, so.
Yeah,
I still am a bit of a communist, you know, I think.
I just kind of, if you look at who's come up alongside you, you know, the Paul
Yeah, well,
Wilsons
they always drop it very quickly, I've noticed as well, when it becomes unfashionable. Paul Weller dropped it very quickly in the 80s when Thatcher was in it, and now he's adopting it again, you know, it's like, always very suspicious of that.
But someone like Weller, his fans have been able to grow almost with
Yeah, well, all his fans are like kids from the Shires, aren't they? You know, not to knock it. I like to think I don't like this sort of confusion with music. I mean, I like Elvis Presley. I mean, you know, I used to like Elvis Presley, but you know, I don't agree with his politics. I don't see what it's got to do with anything really. When you can like, you can watch a film with John Wayne in it and like it. You know, it doesn't. You don't have to dislike it because. I think that's a danger when everybody agrees with the political viewpoints of the group. I think that's really sinister to me.
Yeah.
You not agree?
Yeah, I do, definitely.
It's like status quo, you know, everybody's got to wear the same clothes.
Because I only asked you this.
It's a lot in the name, you know. Status quo.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Sorry, go on.
So you've made a prolific amount of LPs.
Right.
Are you a workaholic or?
Yeah, a bit too much, yeah.
How have you managed to maintain the pace when others have fallen by the wayside? And
I don't have any problem at all. My problem is not doing enough.
really?
Yeah, it's like knowing what not to do.
Because you've been together 20 years, almost 20 years now. I mean,
Yeah.
does that kind of freak you out a bit?
No.
And do you think?
It's only unusual in rock terms, I think. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, it's like James Last, for instance. He used to bring an LP out every week, didn't he? But the problem I have with record companies is they don't let me do like 2 LPs a year. The whole idea of rock bands is that you take 2 years over 1 LP, which I think is a waste of time. So you got a lot of like musos hanging around doing nothing. And by the time the marketing has decided it all and everything, the group's sick of playing the songs, which is why you got this revivalism. You know, it's a lot easier for the record companies to do it that way. They're not really interested in new products or coming out. That's why dance is good, because, well, it was, and I think it's going down the drain a bit. But you know, somebody records a tune and it's out 4 weeks later. I think that's really good.
So would you prefer, I mean, I know that you've always avoided the major labels, you've always stuck with...
No, I've been on major labels.
But generally they've been the smaller departments of those major labels.
No, we just go through a lot of labels.
I mean, are you happier to maybe keep the costs down?
No, I don't keep the costs down, we're quite expensive
well,
to run.
I mean, let me explain. It's be more prolific, release things quite regularly, not have huge expenses
yeah. When financially it would have been better for me. I got to the point at one record company where they're actually paying us not to release an LP.
That's outrageous.
It's cheaper to pay you a load of money than, you know, do all the marketing and all that stuff.
But
It's like a microcosm of British industry, isn't it? You know, it's true, isn't it? They'd rather show reruns of BBC programmes on Sky than they would rather, you know, can't be bothered putting the effort in just to make a new programme, can they?
But I mean, on that sort of scale, would you prefer to not have massive global success, even though you are very successful all over the world, but in little pockets, rather than have massive success, sell out runs all the time?
Yeah, I'd be a lot richer. I'd be a lot richer if I just brought an LP out every 2 years. Yeah. And just, well, the thing I always get is go solo and get rid of. Keep her sort of expanding the group. You know, it's like, you know, having 6 or 7 people is not cost effective. You know. Go solo, but I don't want to do it. You know. I'm sure you come across this stuff in your business.
Yeah. Jump ship. Do you still live in Manchester?
Yeah.
Where do you live in Manchester?
Salford.
Still in Salford.
At the moment, yeah.
And obviously you got a track on the album called Cheatham Hill. I was at Manchester University, by the way. So
Oh, was you? Oh, right. Where do you live? Wally Range?
No, I stuck to safe old Fallowfield and then
Oh, that's nice, right.
Longside for a bit.
Longside.
I was just about to leave at that point, but
How long were you there? 3 years?
3 years to my degree and then 8 months just kind of fucking about.
Do you like it?
Yeah, big time. I mean, I'm from London and I found after 3 years, 3.5 years, I kind of needed a bit more happening. I found Manchester a bit small, I think. Because
It's a big village, really.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crap tops about it, I think.
But do you find there's still enough there to keep you...
No, that's why I like it. You know, keep out of it, and that's good.
Yeah.
I lived in Edinburgh for quite a bit, about 2 years. That was terrible. I never got any work done. You know, there's so much to do. And, you know, just to go back to the humdrum.
So Cheatham Hill, what's that track about?
Cheatham Hill.
But for people who don't necessarily know Manchester.
Well, it's the drummer wrote that song, actually, which he keeps telling everybody. You know, I'm sick of hearing about it. So it's just about, you get a lot of cruisers, you know, with the brothel area. It's like just right next to me. It's in between where I live and the city. And it's sort of very rough place.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of cruisers. That's what it's about. You know, rich blokes in cars. So cruising, yeah, correct. Yeah. Trying to get away from the wife and all that.
Okay.